Namaste, beloveds. This is Mother with Wisdom. And this is a video I'm saging, so that's what this smoke is. Um, I just want to say I'm getting ready to do a blog talk radio show on October the 7th at 4:30 Central Time. I will leave the information to this event in the information below. Um, the title of it is Reclaiming Our Humanity. And this show is specifically spiritually related to what is going on right now with the powers and principalities. Also, where we are as the human race in the stage of our current evolution. Um, I want to focus on how there is, in the old times, in the ancient times, human beings were taught how to be human. That was the most crucial thing in the world. That is why there were universities established in the ancient cities and capitals. And these places were renowned for the education that they gave to humanity, the insight, the success rate of providing a format for you to know yourself, for you to know yourself as a divine human being, for you to assist and help provide and protect for your communities based upon what you learn at the university, where you become one with the universe and one with the universal laws. And in learning those, it's gone out, I'll put it down. In learning those universal laws, beloveds, we had we knew periods of what was termed golden ages. And those golden ages were able to happen simply because humanity was in touch with itself as a individual, a spiritual individual, as well as a spirit belonging to a spiritual collective. And it was all inclusive. It was not based upon a hierarchy of superiority, of who is a greater human being. The race of humanity was the human race, period. There was no superiority, there was no inferiority based upon religious preference, color of skin, or where you lived, your nationality. It was based simply upon being human. And beloveds, in those two words, I really want you to focus and understand what that means. We consider ourselves living, and everything happens to us as though we are victims in this life. We are not victims. We are beings becoming better beings. And we become better beings by knowing ourselves and identifying ourselves as human beings. And if someone wants to treat us as lesser than a human being, as being less than belonging to the human race, then it is our duty to educate them. It is our duty to educate our children. It is our duty to educate the community to know itself and to know that if someone is saying you are not human or you are less than a human, that is an enemy. That is an enemy of the Holy Spirit, because it says the Holy Spirit is a lie. You know, it claims itself to be superior than its brothers and sisters. And that is not the way of creation. Creation is balance. It's neither the right or the left extreme. It is ground zero. It is balanced in all of its understanding of itself, in all of its knowing, in all of its evolutionary processes. It consists upon universal laws. And those universal laws are all about balance and order and cycles and seasons. And right now we find ourselves in what many are calling a paradigm shift, or the age of Aquarius that we're entering into. And we really need to focus. When you think of Aquarius, you think immediately of water. When you know what the ancients associated water with, water was associated with people, humans. Water was associated with spirituality. Water was associated with emotions, spiritual insights and inspirations. There's a fluidity, a naturalness, a surrender, a gentleness, but also a great destructive force. We have to be, like Bruce Lee said, we have to be like water, beloveds. Even though we're human beings, what do we consist mostly of? Water. What does our brain consist mostly of? Water. What does our blood consist mostly of? Water. So we need to take it to heart, beloveds. We need to really understand ourselves as human beings. And we need to do that by sharing our humanness so that we can see the similarities from a eyewitness point of perspective, not from what we've been told from generation to generation to generation, not what has been put into us, what we drag forward from years and years and years of abuse, of distortion of information, of unfairness, of human beings trying to conquer other human beings, of human beings trying to rule over other human beings, not even knowing how to rule over themselves, not even knowing themselves completely. Because once you truly know yourself as a human being, you understand as above, so below. Everything that goes on in the heavens goes on in your individual body. And just as the universe is based off, I'm shaking now. Wow. My hand. Just as the universe is a collective of planets and stars and suns and moons and asteroids and everything else, we are the human being is made of a collective. It is made of stardust. You know, we are all made from the same ingredients, no matter the color of our skin and no matter the content of our character. We decide that. We as human beings decide that. Who we are going to be, who is going to influence us, what is going to impact us, which way we're going to go, what we're going to be afraid of, what we're going to embrace, what we're going to love, what we will fight for, what we will die for, and what we will compromise and surrender to. It takes transparency, beloveds. It takes compassion and empathy. It takes the ability to be able to look at someone and know that they're flesh and blood just like you, that they hurt, that they have fears, that they worry about their children, that they worry about being killed with gunfire. You know, all of this is not exclusive to one kind of human being. It is exclusive to humanity. And this is where, this is the foundation that we have to stand and build our own humanity upon. We have to all come to a common ground. And that common ground is the human race. That common ground is that we are here to be caretakers of the earth and of each other. We are here to establish communities, loving communities. There's this African saying that it takes a village to raise a child. You can have no village if you don't have a community. You can have no community if you do not have knowledgeable individuals who know who they are and who have purpose and have drive, and those that want to guide and that will step forth in leadership positions to show, to set examples, to be brave, to be strong, to stand on your ground and what you stand for, to speak out against injustices, because they realize that an injustice against one is an injustice against all. And beloveds, we have got to get there. And I'm going to have this conversation. I'm going to have it, I'm a spiritual person, I'm a spirit led person. So I'm going to be looking at a lot of cosmologies that are going to be dealing with humans and human values and human ethics. And I'm going to gather all of these things together. And beloveds, I want to have discussion. I want to invite you to this radio show, to this Blog Talk radio show. I want your input. I want to hear what you think about what is going on, about the shooting in Las Vegas, about the storms, about the way Trump is dealing with Puerto Rico, about, do you think he sees colored people as less than human? Where did this come from in him? What can we do? He's a 70-year-old man. It's hard to change that kind of conviction, that kind of teaching that he has been taught, and the life that he has experienced. And you're not going to change that man. You can only change yourself. He is who he is, and he has been put where he is put in this time and in this now place, because this is what humanity needs to evolve. We can sit up here and argue all day long about if Russia put him in place. Russia is still human beings. We are human beings. We have to be not superior, but more educated, having more knowledge of ourselves, having more knowledge of our divinity, having more knowledge of the things that we can fix, that we can manifest, that we can heal. And we have to begin with ourselves. We have to begin with loving ourselves. We have to begin with forgiving ourselves. We have to learn to allow ourselves to witness and see things without being triggered by them emotionally, reacting and just losing it. We have to understand that we have to be ready for whatever comes our way. And there's a lot that's getting ready to come our way, beloved, simply because there are a lot of human beings who do not love themselves and who do not love you, and who do not even believe that your children are human beings. They believe that they're less than, that they are here to serve, that, that is the mindset. And there is no more looking away from it, there is no more ignoring it. What has happened? Why this is so happening on such a large, in our face kind of way, It's because of communication, it's because of the internet, it's because people are sharing their experiences. People are speaking up about the injustices. So it's not just word of mouth spreading this tale and spreading that. Well, he said, she said, he said. No, we are witnessing abuse with our eyes. We are witnessing racial inequality with our eyes. We are witnessing the lack of self love in the way that we treat ourselves and in the way that we treat each other. And we have got to come together as a community, regardless of our race, regardless of the color of our skin, regardless of our religious affiliations and beliefs, regardless of how much money we make or don't make, regardless of the education that we have, regardless of what countries our parents originated from and migrated here from. We have got to come together as a community to heal each other and to get this earth back into the condition where it can support naturally the generations that are yet to be born, as well as those that are here. This is the principles of all the indigenous ones. The indigenous ones had a relationship, a symbiotic relationship with the earth. The earth was not a separate thing from them. It was their mother. They understood that their roots were ground in her, that they were seeds, that in order for you to be taken care of and your family to be taken care of, you had to take care of the earth. You had to nurture the earth. You had to honor what she grew. You had to be aware of her cycles and her seasons. You had to honor the animals that you were going to eat and that were going to provide you food and tools. You had to honor them, and you did so because you knew that you were connected to each of them. The indigenous ones call the animals their brothers and sisters. They did not think of themselves as dominating them or as ruling over them. They knew what the circle of life meant. They knew what the connections of each was. They understood that everything that is here can teach you about yourself. From a tree to a leaf to a stone, all you have to do is listen. All you have to do is want to know. All you have to do is have an open mind. And beloveds, I'm not going to make this very long. It is an introduction to the show. And like I said, um, tune into the show, beloveds. There's going to be a lot there. Grandfather is going to join us. I'm going to be inviting many more people, and I hope they show up. Um, I want this to be a discussion, and I want it to grow from here. And I want other people to use it as a platform to have other dialogue and communications with, because we can't just keep it for ourselves. We can't heal just this little portion of the vessel that is the human body, the human temple. We have to understand that there are hands and that there are feet and that there's a stomach and that there's a head and that there are eyes and that there are nose. You can't take care of just one aspect of your body and not care for the rest of it. Just as you cannot just take care of your physical health and not take care of your mental health or spiritual health. It's all inclusive, beloved. And you have to be able to see yourself in such a way that you are made with layers. There are layers to you, and there are depths to you that even you don't know and realize about yourself just yet. And as you continue to live it is your responsibility to expand your consciousness, your awareness of yourself. Okay, that is it for this video. Like I said, it is an introduction to the Blog Talk Radio show, Reclaiming Our Humanity. That will take place on this October 7th at 4:30 p.m. Central Time. It'll be on Mother with Wisdom's Blog Talk show. You you can go. I'm going to leave the information, the link to this in the box below, but you can also just Google Blog Talk Radio Show and look for Mother Wit in the little search engine area there. I'll have it on Facebook, on my pages, as well as an event page for it. So that's the introduction, beloveds. And I hope to see you there. And I hope you bring with you your wisdom, your insight, your input, your thoughts, your fears, what you think we need to do as individuals as well as community to kind of reverse things, to kind of put a mirror up to what is happening right now so that we can really see our reflection, you know, of what is truly going on with us as the human race, as the caretakers of this planet at this time. Okay, beloveds, that is it. Thought that was it. Okay.